Our nephew was up staying with us for a couple of days here, so we had him rebuild the steps on our front porch because they had pretty much completely rotted out on the bottom. So first things first this morning, gonna put some tools away and some scrap wood. Now, one of the most important things that a farmer can do ahead of getting busy in the fields is to clean his grill so your steaks don't catch on fire. I recently failed to do that and had a very, very sad situation with some T-bones last night. Now, I am gonna clean all this up, but the even better news is we have a brand new grill on the way. And I'm pretty excited about it. I don't want to fill you in just yet on what exactly it is, but you guys all right? There, as a bonus, the Ranger got a little bath, and now you can tell that it's a Ranger again. Any bets on what the new grill might be? There he is. Quick, I gotta act like I wasn't just cleaning my grill. I hear a grain dryer running. I suppose they're testing out to see if they got everything good? Sounds normal. I gotta figure out what I need to order for this hood latch because I can't even drive this thing until I actually have what I need. Here's the problem, I don't know what's in there, but the spring thingy doesn't spring thingamize. So it's either gotta be 17 or 16. No, that isn't right. Those fit a 77 to 80. But my diagram shows a 73 to 80, so. Well, I got a hood latch for a 73 to 76 Chevy pickup ordered, so hopefully it's the correct thing. Now we're gonna hook up the Mendeco Storm, the VT tool, to the 9570R and see how muddy it is back there and at least pull it up, get it ready. Anna and I don't remember exactly what size pin that uses, but we got a couple drawbar savers here from May West. And the big pin, because I'm pretty sure it takes the big pin, so we'll meet Dad down there. Now the Mendeco's not gonna go anytime in the next couple days. It's gotta be awfully dry in the fields to get that to go to make sure it's working right, but we figure why not at least hook it up because this is the tractor it's going to go on. We have no other use for this tractor right now. That is the big pin, and yes, it is still muddy down here. Not sloppy, just regular old muddy. Can you see it? No? Turn like you're going left. There you go. You got about 3 feet. Turn sharper. More turn. More. There you go. Hold it there now. Turn to the right a little. Oh, damn it. Bring it back there and hold the brake. You've been lined up, but you roll forward every time. Hold. Come back an inch. Okay. Now turn to the left. Now creep a 1/4 inch if you can. Turn the other way. A little more. Now ahead, 1/8 of an inch. Now just wiggle it. There we go.
You took a pin out of the setup?
Yeah.
Was it? It's just a little one? I'll put it in here.
Yeah. It's the only tractor that's got it down there. You got the box in the cab for this?
It's not hooked up. It is in there, yeah.
So this is for... This machine has a lot of adjustment to it, so there's a lot of hydraulics, and on top of that there's a control box here that switches one of the hydraulics between 3 different functions. So we'll mount this in the cab, and then that one hydraulic can make all those adjustments. I think I had it running through one of those holes last year just to keep it out of things, and then it's got some give to it.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
There's a lot of valves for, not that dog, but for shutoffs on here. I wish I could shut your front paws off a lot of the time so you quit digging little holes in the yard. So, left those ones open, so don't need to do that. Yeah, that's gonna take a lot of mud. I'd pull it up, park it on the rocks on the north side. Yeah. And then I can grease it there or whatever, because that's gonna make a mess in the yard.
So we'll have to check the tires. We could actually do that with the Thunder Creek.
Could, yeah.
Compressor in the back there, so we don't have to pull it in the yard, then take it out in the field first.
Yep. Yeah, it was muddy back here yet. Huh. That was pretty muddy.
It's pretty soft, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mush underneath it. I don't know.
I'd let it sit here and dry a little before we pull it into the yard because we don't need it.
We might not be going tomorrow afternoon even.
It's pretty wet underneath.
Yeah, Starbucks is drier, but it's still too wet.
Yeah, this thing is heavy. We know that, but that's a lot. It's soft underneath. There's still water trickling down the side hills everywhere, so we're not gonna be planting today. Let's go see how the Sukup boys are doing over here. Maybe they got something figured out. If you watched the last video, you saw they're up here updating the screen on the dryer.
The gas valve, that shut-off valve was leaking, so I shut it off. We never did get gas up to here.
Oh, you didn't?
So I shut it off just so whoever your guy is to do the...
Let them know.
Let them know that you got a gas leak there.
Okay.
It was enough that it was just dripping.
Yeah.
But
well, after a day of wiring, we finally got her hooked up for you. Got a new operating system here.
That looks fancy.
Yeah. We had the help of Dieter Strobel of DHS Grain, helped us hook up all the wiring, and we've got her working for you. So, like I said, we got a whole new operating platform here.
Welcome to the next evolution in drying technology.
Here, get it.
Does it have Netflix?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet?
It's probably capable, but
Quadratouch Pro doesn't just, it provides you the tools to do it better, faster, and smarter than any other product on the market.
So that's like the main menu there?
yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
This will be your main menu, and you'll probably see some of it's kind of similar, like your start button. You know, when you go to start, then you probably ran yours on continuous flow.
We actually ran it on manual most of the time.
Okay. Yep, manual will be right in the middle there.
I would recommend starting it out that way.
On the manual?
On manual, get that dryer, let it find its sweet spot.
Yep.
Where it's putting the grain out that you want. Switch it over to automatic at that point. And
Okay.
if it has to find itself, it's going to take longer. So if you can help it find its sweet spot and then switch it, you're
Sure.
going to be a lot happier with it.
Rear discharge
So he went back and actually tripped the discharge chute
Yes.
to cause that fault.
and make sure
And the screen is now going to show us
completely pushed
Yes.
down.
what's going
How to
on.
fix itself. Yep.
Make sure the mercury's
Man, I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be nice. There's an app that we can actually get on our phones that's going to go right onto that screen. We'll be able to control everything on the grain dryer with our phones. So we're going to be all set up to check on it all hours of the day and from the field and you name it. We'll head to lunch here and maybe in an hour we can try picking some rock. You think there's still rock out there?
I bet there is still rock out there. Especially where we put a little tile in.
Yep. Lunch was good, but it ended up being one of those ones that went on a little too long. We started telling stories and BSing because we're waiting for the fields to dry up, really. So now I'm going to take off and head south to where we brought the rock picker to in the last video, and I'm going to check out what it looks like down there. Probably jump in the tractor and go find some rocks because I know there's some out there. So then we'll kind of get a feel for what the ground looks like and see if I think we'll actually be running tillage tomorrow or not. I see the neighbor is spreading some manure out here. It's a pretty dry piece there, but it looks dry. It's definitely gotten drier since yesterday. I've got high hopes. This is a really dry hill right here where I'm standing, and I don't think I wouldn't run the digger or the field cultivator through this yet, but tomorrow I would. The issue is going to be the lower areas down there being 30% of the field. Do we want to drag it through that? This spot right here is not affecting where I'm standing, but this is interesting. This is a wet area, but for the last couple of years we have driven right straight through that with tillage, planting, harvesting, everything. We've been totally replenished, which is a good thing. This is the 8260 that's going to be on the Steffes auction here. I thought it was in May, but I guess it sounds like it's in June, so you can just go to steffesgroup.com and find that auction if you're interested. You can find it if you're not interested as well, but there wouldn't be much point in that now, would there be? Well, there he is, first little guy of the year. So this is an interesting perspective point I'm going to show you guys. This is a field we installed some drain tile in last fall. It was one of the videos I did in November where there was a tile crew out here. We closed up an area there where the water was running over the top of the ground. It was actually being dumped onto the top of the ground the other end of the field, and it came through here and it was eroding away through this low area right here, completely taking the soil with it in certain spots and across the neighbors and down to the creek that's about a half-mile south of here. What we did is, instead of that water dumping over the top and coming across the top, we closed that up, we sent it under the ground. Now we've got perforated tile, perforated pipe under the ground to grab that water that's coming down from the hills as it goes. And right here, for the water that does come over the top, we've got an inlet with a basin there that will be not farmed over, so there will be vegetation over the top of that basin. It'll catch that water that's flowing and bring that, just like a drain, into the underground tile and run it down there through the neighbors where there's a couple more basins along the way to catch any surface water, bring it down into the creek. So that helps to keep the soil in the field and out of the water, not to mention it filters that water as it gets pulled through the soil so that there's less nutrients actually ending up down in the creek down there that eventually end up in the rivers, the lakes, the water system in general. So what we've done here is a bunch of work to keep the soil and the nutrients in the field and keep the water clean. Now there was an old fence line that ran right through here, so there's some fence posts, some barbed wires, a lot of rock. Interestingly, this was also completely bone dry last fall, but not unusual for it to be holding water. This, I don't want out here. So I'm gonna see if I can just pick it up by hand, get it in the rock picker without tearing myself up, because it would get twisted up in that reel if I tried to toss it in there using the machine. It might get twisted up in there anyway. Well, hopefully that'll just dump out the back with the rocks now. Yeah, so I think we're wetter than they must be on the other side of Glenwood, plus we know their soils, but I would say, just judging by what I'm seeing here, 30% of the field I don't think we'll want to touch tomorrow. I'm on the far west end now, kind of in that corner back by Amundson's where it's pretty light ground, and it's shiny here. It's too sticky. I don't see your pickup tracks here. The frost has got to be coming up, because this is like shiny here, and this is, I mean, it's gravel underneath. I shouldn't be on it with the rock picker right now. Unfortunately, I think most of this field is just too wet. I think it's gonna need to wait another day from what we were thinking. So tomorrow we got a few other things we can do. Maybe pick up some of these fence lines where we took the trees down and had the basins built. We got another field where we took some trees down. Maybe we'll burn those. Bunch of sticks out here. I'm gonna get out and chuck those into the fence line. I think instead of driving around on the entire field when half of it's too wet, I'll just screw around near this old fence line and pick up the rocks, the barbed wire, and the sticks, and this is the driest part of the field anyway. I am finding a lot of pieces of old wire, barbed wire, fence posts, etc. So tomorrow we're definitely gonna have to come down here and clean some of this up and just walk this by hand and make sure we're getting all this stuff, because we don't want any of this in a tire or wrapped around a bearing or you name it. I'm sure this old fence line's been here for 150 years. They've been fencing it and piling rocks on it and who knows what else. And we come along and have it completely destroyed. It's 7 p.m. now. I got a bunch cleaned up out here, but I think we'll come back tomorrow. We've definitely got tomorrow, so we'll come back here and see what'll run. Want to remind everybody that there is a GoFundMe link down below. We're going to raise $100,000 for local fire departments and rescue crews, first responders to go in and get training, just like we did about a year and a half ago where we raised $60,000. We're going to go for 100 this time. If you want, July 1st in Alexandria, Minnesota, the Anderson Bash is what it's called. There's a country music concert that I'm going to be at. It is free will donation. 100% of the stuff coming in the doors is going towards that cause. So between that concert and the GoFundMe link, we're gonna raise $100,000. All right, that is what we're shooting for. So if you guys are interested, that is down below. Until then, beyond that, thanks for watching. We'll be planting soon. I'm out. I'm gonna go grill.